Evening, fellow zombies. Yeah, I'm a little bit perturbed tonight. It's 10:49 in the evening, still August 30th, 2023. Came across an article, MSNBC, that YouTube did. How the state government of Texas, how his lordship Greg Abbott has finally getting his hands digging in dirty into school systems where he's tearing apart librarians and putting in centers to discipline kids instead of educating them. Getting rid of libraries and putting in these centers where they complained. I heard too much from the GOP, theoretical GOPs, the Trumplicans at those places. Complained about libraries being too woke and too liberal, and they're giving the wrong information. And you hear from from the other parents probably who hadn't put their kids into the library, and the parents probably hadn't looked at the damn libraries to see what the hell is going on. Complain about books in there that are too woke, and just basically get rid of librarians and books. They're supposed to educate the kids. If a kid wants to read something that would interest their kid, it's no longer available because there's a hell of a lot of schools in the school systems of Houston that just been had their libraries evaporated. Librarians fired. And now we got discipline centers. How is a student supposed to learn? They complain about liberal, the liberal left is going to indoctrinate these kids. We got to protect the kids. We got to protect the kids. So what do? Make the kids dumber than dog shit? But you complain about the test scores? They can't do the test scores unless they study, unless they have material to study with. But I don't suppose these guys want that. They want dumb kids. Dumb kids to vote for them back in office again. Kill out the young generation in their mind. We don't want educated people. We want stupid people. We want to be in office all the time. Stupid people don't know what's going on. In the public, where the hell is the outrage in the public? Where the hell are the parents trying to tear apart their school boards and the city councils? Not to mention going after Greg Abbott. Parents and teachers, if they really get pissed off about this situation, they should be saying something about it, doing something about it. They want to protect the kids, and they want to protect the kids how they're learning, how they're growing up. Sorry. As I said before, I blame the parents. I blame the people because they allowed this shit to happen. They allowed this to happen. And they're being racist about it too. I'm saying the hard word. The Latina community, the black community, they're getting sucker punched. They're getting sucker punched in this situation. Taking away a kid's ability to learn, except what you're going to force crap down their throat and say this is the education you're going to get because we say so. My question is, why didn't the students themselves organize and do walkouts? I mean, just walk out, saying we're not taking this no more. Texas used to be a state to be admired a long time ago, but now It's a garbage heap. People allowed it to be a garbage heap. They voted in the trash because they themselves were trash. And they didn't care who the hell they were going to be mucking around with. Apparently, Texans don't give a shit anyway. Or those call themselves Texans anyway. There used to be a long time ago, Texans would have actually have pride in their state. What pride? You take away kids' dreams, ability to learn, ability to grow. You're going to indoctrinate them. You're going to give them a uniform. You're going to make them do salutes. It's beyond saying it's not right. And I know what the next step is going to be at this point over here, what people are going to be expecting for me to say or anything about that. But, it's up to the parents. It's up to the teachers. It's up to the students. Anyone else has got skin in the game who really hate the system that they've got going on there. Librarians are fired. Books. They might as well just burn the damn books if they're going at that particular thought pattern. Let's recreate Fahrenheit 451. Let's have fire brigades to torch literature of every sort. Let's go out there and have book burnings and celebrate it with salute and uniforms. Because that's where everyone else is heading at this point over here. The extreme right wants that shit. They want to control. They want to control by fear, by intimidation. I like to see some of these guys getting fear intimidated when you have an angry bunch of students along with the parents and teachers and librarians go up to the school board members and the civil and their elected officials and say, you can't do this shit. We don't allow it. The Constitution doesn't allow it. And we're taking it back. You guys want to take back America, make America great? Then you got to educate the mind. You got to free it. You got to give them the tools necessary to do it. If they're going to be making America great again, they got to bust their ass for it. Not just, oh, we want simpler times like it was a long time ago. Under whose mental facility was this conjugated in? Which particular hallucination were they dreaming up with? Which particular drugs were they using to come up with these kind of dumbass suggestions? I sure as hell don't want the damn drug. I don't want them even near me during this shit. But they're going to be pretending that, oh, but this is going to get sorted out. It's a new thing we got to do to the kids. We have to protect them as much as possible. We have to put them in these indoctrination centers here. And we got to drill it into your head. You're going to think and believe it the way we want you to believe. I swear to God, these people are dumb and dog shit because this stuff has already been thought of a hell of a long time ago by educated idiots with a pen and a skrill, with a fountain pen paper, with a quill and black ink. Now, we knew this shit was coming down the pipeline. We warned people about this crap. We kept telling them what the hell was going on, but did anybody believe it? Nope. But for the ones who actually did believe it, they screamed and yelled, but nobody paid attention to it because we had to pay attention to the Trumplicans. We had to make sure that there's no wokeism here. Liberalism, everything has to be conservative now. Conservative. What the hell are you conserving and preserving at this point? Your dumbass history? Oh, I'm sorry. You guys don't believe in history. You only want to dumb down to it's a point where it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense, and nobody gives a shit about it. and that's the way you want it. That's the way it seems to be growing and mutating into. We might as well have the 1930s back again. Only this time have the European model in Germany, where they were suffering through a hell of a lot of humiliation and indignations. I can't even talk right this evening. Shit, I'm doing real great. I'm pissed off. I can't even continue with a discussion that needs to be talked about. How would you feel if your own school district, if you're not in Texas already, tells you that your books are going to be tossed out, they're going to be burned, and your librarians are going to be turned into torture experts, or they're just fired because they don't conform and comply to the new world order of thinking here? It's a new program. We need to indoctrinate discipline. You will learn it, or else we will make sure that you learn this, one way or another. Oh, we can't hurt the kids. Or can we hurt the kids? So let's see. After we go for the kids, let's go for the parents next. Let's make sure they're up to speed on the new program. They're going to get it together. We're going to make sure that we get the parents involved and get them together with this. It's a new day, and they're going to obey, and they're going to get it right. So says his lordship of the state that you're in. We will have order in this place. The Constitution will be abolished, and a new world order will be here. So say us, and if you talk about wokeism or liberalism, how dare you? Who the hell do you think you are? Hmm? It was bad enough. Was it around 86 or 87 that I had heard about a fire in a central library of a city? It pissed me too badly that I couldn't study that day in college. And all I wanted to do was go Mr. Hyde on people. Not Dr. Jekyll, he would be the studious sort who wouldn't dare dream to do anything extreme. But after hearing about what happened to a library going up in flames because some dumbass decided he was going to torch the place, it's like Mr. Hyde was coming out with a hell of a lot of bad ideas at that point. I value education. Back then, I valued books and I valued reading. Even if they were boring as hell, sometimes they actually did have some information for people to read and be interested in. I read books about stuff that happened back in the 60s concerning about technology. Sea-Lab underneath the waters, space program happening in outer space. Sikorskys being flown around and how they were being built. I tried to absorb stuff. I may not have been the best and brightest out there, that's for damn sure. But I liked learning and I liked reading. I always had a book with me. Even though it was a fictional book, it didn't matter. I wanted a book in my back pocket all the damn time. I don't get it with this generation. I don't get it with the previous generation that wants to exclude knowledge from everybody or to mutate the damn thing. In Florida, they've got limited history on what the Civil War is. And a few other red states out there, they're doing the same damn shit. Limiting history information, taking away what was important in the 1800s that managed to have reverberations even up to this point. This point right now. What is it with you dumbasses out there? You want to be dumbasses? You don't want to be educated? But you're willing to put people through the paces on this one. You're willing to tell people you're willing to tell people that they're not smart enough to learn any damn thing except for what you force down their throats. You eliminate the Civil War and the reasons why we have it in the first place, and not to mention the reclamation of the South. How they were trying to, well, depending on which particular points of view that you're looking at the South, right after the Civil War. It led to a hell of a lot of more civil unrest, besides firing a musket at a person's face or shooting it into a chest. No, a hell of a lot worse. How about hangings and burnings? That's what they did back then in the 1800s. 1900s even. 20th century wasn't exactly non-violent either. But we want to go back in those days because they're the good old days. And we have to limit the information about all those days? Because surely we don't want any kind of weird ass uprisings over here. God forbid it should actually get intelligence and be able to question things. God forbid that we actually have people who want to stretch out their brains. But we have to protect the youth, don't we? The youth can't go through this. How dare they? No, we must protect the youth at all costs. So let's make them stupid. Let's make them dumber than dog shit. And then jump on their ass for not being educated enough because they failed their tests. Simply put, they didn't have the material necessary to study for them. But oh, we can't do that to people, can we? But we'll jump on the liberals because everything is the liberals for it, isn't it? See, nobody takes responsibility, accountability, and transparency. Nobody. Just keep pointing the finger at everybody else. And they keep forgetting where the rest of the fingers are pointing at. Right back at the damn source. Fuck. The article I'm looking at is the MSNBC. Houston school libraries turned into discipline centers and hostile takeover by state. Which means Abbott is trying to control everything in Texas the way he wants it. Doesn't matter what the people wanted in the first place. He wants it. And they will oblige. And they will obey because he says so. He's their governor. He's got the power, don't you know that? See, the power is not in the students' hands. It's not in the parents' hands. It's in his lordship's hands. And those who keep following him and following in the same damn footsteps. Let's face it, boys and girls, 1984 is just here. And not to mention 451. Screw the Brave New World and its classifications at this point. Oh no. We must obey. Big Brother is watching. The thought police are out there. So let's give everybody uniforms to wear. And let's force the youth to do the salute, shall we? Because the lordships of the red state, including Texas, demand it. You guys make me sick. Now, the usual word that out there is, you make me sad. No, you want me to throw up on you. That's what you want. Because that's how this is all reacting inside of me right now. I want to throw up. And I'm not holding back the language on that one. And again, I blame the people for this one because they allowed this shit to happen. They keep voting in assholes like Abbott and also Florida's DeSantis, or sanctimonious as people would call him. They want changes. They want changes in the government to be more constrictive in what forced doctrination is. With the same damn shit that Nazi Germany said. Yes, I mentioned the N word. Because that's exactly what they went through. Hey, guess what? We sent our soldiers over to Europe to kick ass on fascists. We didn't realize we were doing the homegrown version out here. We want to make America great again? Especially with those people who keep wanting to burn the damn Constitution down and they're thinking they're protecting the damn thing? The people have to take responsibility. They have to be accountable. They have to be transparent over their actions. Otherwise, they're worthless and shit. We protest because people get shot in the streets and we can't stand the bloody violence. And people won't do a damn thing about the damn guns. Second Amendment protects everybody, don't you know that? So let me have my shotgun and let's have some fun with it, shall we? Oh, and let's get a junior version of an AR-15 down to a toddler size, and let's train him how to use a damn gun. And companies make money off of that damn bullshit. People no longer value education. They claim that they are a Christian nation and they want to force the indoctrination of religion down people's throat. In the name of God, you will believe in this fashion. Otherwise, you will believe. Yeah, welcome to Iran. There's a lot of examples out there that we are changing our country into. Land of the free and home of the brave is gone. Now it's being brainwashed into something else. It's called new. Get with the program. But we want to preserve. We want to conserve. We want to maintain. You will do this otherwise. As the extremists would be fond of saying half the time, and it kind of forces me to acknowledge at least some of this stuff. That people have to take the power back one way. They have to vote these bastards out. Kicking and screaming if they have to be. I said vote. The democratic way. That means going to board meetings and screaming and yelling their heads off that you're going to take the power back away from them. That means going to city halls and demanding change has to happen. That means going to the state capitol and giving warning to those governments, to those elected officials. You want us to take the country back? Start packing your offices. You guys want to support the Constitution? Support the damn Constitution. Follow the laws. Follow the rules and regulations. You're going to deny the executive branch. You're going to deny the legislative. You're going to deny the judicial and think that your own state government is going to be independent. I think that's Scooter Boy. You're still part of the union. There's no way getting out of the damn thing. There is no law on record how a state may dissolve itself from the union. There has never been, except the Civil War, which we had the Confederacy trying to dissolve itself from the Union for bloody frickin' years. And then there was Reconstruction for decades on that in the South because of it. Again, it's part of U.S. history. It's part of everyone's history. Stuff you read in library books. Stuff you read in books that are available out there. Kids are so thirsty in learning about what happened and why we got to this point. As the other adults are afraid of losing their power, losing their control, losing their theoretical dominance, realizing that the power of democracy is going to be jumping on their ass, and they don't want it. They want to keep their power and their control and their ego running. And even if they happen to get voted out of office, they're still screaming and yelling about it. You folks are dumber than dog shit. And it's being demonstrated. And it's going to be up to the people to decide whether you stay in office and really screw them over or get out of the frickin' way, you twerps.